Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. In today's video, we're looking at another black hole mod. This one is very similar to the one that I showcased not too long ago, the Colossal Black Hole, and it's also from the same creator, but this one, which I'm currently in the midst of, is called the Maelstrom, which is this lovely thing all the way over here. So this is an absolute glorious looking black hole in both a lovely white, light blue and dark blue colouring. As you can see from the edge there, it's got that lovely dark blue glow, which I absolutely do love the colour of. And it gets whiter and whiter and whiter as you go into the middle, where suddenly it'll be pitch black, much like the other black hole, where well, you'll just spontaneously explode. But unlike the previous video, this one has got block destruction in it, so the closer we get to the middle, the more your ship is going to get deconstructed. That's going to be the bulk of this video, because I don't really need to go through too much of this thing, because it is largely the same. But we'll touch on a couple of things, such as the actual pulling in range, because this thing does have a deceptively small pulling in range compared to the actual size of this model, so you are safe to basically fly all the way around this thing. It's only really when you get to about 50 kilometers away from the middle does it actually start to pull you in. Bring up the HUD, and going like so. So there I am. I'm basically at the very cusp of the pulling in range, where I'm at 0.05 G's of gravity, and that's what it's like from the actual middle of this thing. So zoom all the way away, hide the HUD. In fact, I need to have the HUD turned on. There we are, that's the actual middle, and there is my ship. I'm not too sure why I just pointed at my screen, you can't actually see where I'm pointing, but there we are, that is the edge of the pulling in range. Everything outside of that is perfectly fine to fly through, and you could, if you want to, build a space station on the very outer edge of that, so it would look very fancy and very dapper, to actually be on the edge of a black hole. So without further ado, what I'm going to do is now grab on my character once again, hop into the ship from my previous video, which has the harpoon still attached onto it. Now I'm going to come across to here, and I'm going to undo my dampeners. So I'm just going to let this charge all the way along. It's going to take quite some time to get into the middle, and does take quite some time before we get to the point where it starts to actually take damage. But there will be a very handy, big, flashing warning on the screen telling you that you're in the destruction zone, and your ship is going to be deconstructed unless you can pull this out, which at that point you're not going to be able to pull it out because it's too much gravity for any thrusters in the game to handle, unless you were using super powered modded thrusters. With the free camera, once again, we now just hide all of that, so we don't need to worry about that. We're going to come all the way down, take a look at it like so. So there we are, right in the very middle, unlike the other one, which is still in this world somewhere in the distance. I believe, yes, there it is right there, that little ring, or at least the flat disc you see in the distance, that is the Colossal Black Hole. Anyway, as I was saying, unlike the one in the distance that I showcased not too long ago, this one does not have a big black ball in the middle. As you can see, it's quite a small ball, but it has a massive white ring all the way around it. The ball does grow as we move away, and then shrink as we get a bit closer, until we get really close to it, where as you can see, it suddenly pops all the way into its full size, and then we get that lovely bluish white hue that covers up most of it. Anyway, grab hold of my character once again, because that's pretty much it for what this thing has to offer, outside of sizing. We're now in 0.1 G, so it's going to take quite some time, so hopping my character out of this, and actually making sure he's firmly onto the ground so he doesn't go flying away from the ship. Now I'm going to zoom all the way away, there we go. Now I'm going to put in a much bigger black hole right above there so we can show the comparison of the maximum size black hole compared to the standard basic size you see right down at the bottom. So pressing Shift F10, coming over the planets, down to here, here it is the Maelstrom. And of course there's the one in the distance, which does have a few different ones on there. Got V2 up here. Anyway, with this one, all the way up to the maximum 120 kilometers, spawning us in right above there. And there we are, that is the sheer size difference of the basic one and the giant one. But anyway, that is the sizing, that's what it looks like. Grab hold of my character once again, getting back into the seat, and now I'm going to scoot this thing slightly along till we actually get to the point that we're on the edge of where the destruction is going to start happening. So the free camera once again, coming all the way over to here, and I want to actually make sure that it's turned on so we can see where the ship is. Dropping all the way down, moving slightly across, there we go, it's very, very slowly moving towards the middle. We're now going to put the character over to here, here we go, we're now in 5 G's gravity, we want to get a bit closer. Over there, 24, bit closer, 86, 90, as you can see it's getting higher and higher and higher. There we are, we're now at 200, 300, it's going up very rapidly. Grabbing hold of this once again, I'm just going to ride this out. Here we go, we're now at about 7,000 meters away from the middle of the black hole. There is the warning on the screen saying warning gravity hazard. Now the ship is being deconstructed right in front of your eyes. All the blocks are taking lots and lots of damage. I'm going to be the first to go, and I will be ejected out of the ship and pulled further into the black hole compared to everything else. Move the camera slightly away if I can, there we go. And yes, we're going to take a lot of damage, and there we are, the seat has been destroyed, and now I'm going to be jettisoned away from this. My jetpack on the engineer is not strong enough to be able to keep up with that ship. So I'm just going to hide the HUD, we can watch it blow up as we get closer to the middle. But there we are, that's what the damage script does, in addition to the black hole. Your ship will just be deconstructed, and it makes quite a spectacle to actually watch. It's like a firework going off, a very expensive firework that took a very long time to build. I did not build that ship, it's simply one of the ones I picked up a long time ago to do a showcase on. But there we are, it's now going to be deconstructed until nothing is left. But look at all those particle effects going off, look at all those explosions. That must have been a hydrogen tank exploding. There goes another one. And I did see a green puff earlier where a reactor was destroyed. And there we go, there goes all the rest of it. And now we're on the dead middle of the black hole, so everything just slammed into that giant place. Looking around here, if I can, putting on my light, or even just turning off my jetpack. And here we are. So this is the middle of the black hole. Looks slightly different compared to the other one, but yes, we can walk around here, and you can, if you really want to, build on the very middle. It's going to be a bit dangerous because you do have the block destruction turned on, placing that down, and well, it's just going to blow up as soon as you actually spawn this in. There we go. That actually looks very odd. Look at that go. You know, just keep clicking that, and it just keeps blowing up. But anyway, let's go and do one more thing. Let's go and spawn a black hole right next to a planet, one which has a space pirate base on there, maybe the district headquarters, and we're going to see what's going to happen when you have it very close to a planet. So here we are once again on the Earth-like planet at the Space Pirate District headquarters to finish off this video. So here it is in all of its glory. Now what I'm going to do is come all the way up directly above it. That should do quite nicely. Pressing Shift F10, finding the Maelstrom, there it is right there, all the way up to the 120 kilometers. And I believe I'm just going to place it right there. There we go. Grab hold my character once again, and that is what it looks like up there. So it looks like I did have to actually get it a bit closer for it to start taking damage. If it was to say coming to a first person view, here we go, bring up the HUD. We're now under 1460.65 G's of gravity, which is a lot. If I get out of the seat, we're going to be pulled to the ceiling, and now we're walking on the roof. But I suppose what I can do to make this a little bit better is come a bit closer. Yes, we're going to come a little bit closer and spawn in another one. I want this to be a lot closer so we can actually start to destroy it. And here we go. Bit closer over to there. That should do quite nicely. Grab hold my character once again. Is it going to be destroyed? I don't think it is. But it looks like some of the ships at the Earth Easy starting base are starting to be pulled towards the black hole. So that's quite funny. Anyway, with the free camera once again coming all the way back down. Here we go. And now we're going to actually disconnect the space pirate base and actually let it go all the way up into the black hole and see which one actually pulls it along. So here we go. This is the final part of the Space Pirate District headquarters that is attached onto the ground. Disconnecting that, and hopefully it should lift all the way up. Might need to grab hold of my character and somehow get him into a seat. Might even need to build a seat on the roof. There we go, getting into here, pressing I into info, converting this to a ship, and away we go. We have now just lifted off the ground and are going towards the black hole right above us. I'm not too sure which one is going to win. I have a feeling we're just going to slam straight into the middle of this black hole, and it looks like we are starting to take damage. I saw a few puffs of smoke there, but it looks like it was just my imagination. But yes, I don't think we'll be pulled into the big black hole, because I think this one will destroy us, so we have to go slightly past it. I was correct, we are starting to take damage. As I say, bring the sunlight all the way back around so we get a better view of what's going on here. Doesn't really make too much of a difference. And off we go. So here we come all the way up to it. There we go, a lot of smoke at the bottom of that. We're just simply going to slam straight into the middle of this thing. We might even go straight past it. I'm not too sure what's happening here. There is the very middle of the black hole. We are very rapidly being deconstructed, although it's taking its sweet time to deconstruct this compared to the ship. And there we are with the end of the Space Pirate District headquarters. My computer is not liking this. Turning on my jetpack, putting on my light, there is a massive chasm that we just created. That sheer size of the building, slamming straight into it at that speed and that gravity. But I think that is enough of this video, and that's enough of the black hole. Yes, it's a fantastic little mod to use in your world. Along with the damage script, it does add a lot more that the other mod was missing. But I suppose you could add that script in with that if you wanted to have a more reddish black hole. It does look quite nice, but I do prefer the bluish colouring of this one compared to that. So be linked to its description below to download it and play it yourself. I highly recommend you do, because it's a lot of fun to have that additional danger in your world. Although it's not really much of a danger because you can easily avoid this thing, but it could be fun to flirt with death if you do want to say have a base on the very edge of the pulling range. So anyway, thank you all for watching, and I'll be back with another video some point soon. Bye bye.